Good video. Cool. Okay. Woo! Look at that entry.
I mean, Joe, the cool part. Listen, the cool part hasn't happened yet.
No. Well, I mean, it has. Ooh.
Oh, see, that's the part
what
where you're talking
that's what
about.
the beer looks like. That's the color
That's
the beer
it.
looks like.
It's rich. You're saying?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, it has that. See that like pinkish hue?
Oh man.
I like it.
See, that sounds okay. Precious channel. Welcome aboard. Obviously, let me be the first to welcome you. However it came to be, you have fallen ass backwards into Twitch's brewing show, Acquisitions Intoxicated. I am your internet friend, Jerford K. Horcrims. I am joined, as almost always, by Acquisitions Intoxicated brewmaster Eric J. Benson, who has some other names.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
Some
it.
you are worthy to know.
Whoa, wow, that guy.
For example, let's go down the list. If you have heard of the exploits of one Azerbaijan, same guy.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if I am okay with the political repercussions of the country and the association.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we pause that particular moniker briefly.
No, I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
But we have other ones. I mean, Notorious EJB. I mean, I don't think that has. Well, I mean, certainly it's connected with the Notorious BIG.
Right.
I mean, there could be some complexity in that context. How about Edge Benson? I mean, as you two, I mean, I guess they're if they're fancy, I guess. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. There's probably something bad about them.
You think?
Probably. I feel very confident. I mean,
I think
my
Edge
law,
has something to say about that.
My law on this is that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. It's just a matter of time before we discover what perfidy these creatures are capable of. It's only a matter of time. There's going to be a photograph of them eating a baby. Right. It's going to be like, well, God, he always had kind of a baby eater vibe.
Yeah, I always thought he would just be chomping.
You know what I mean? Slavering. In the meantime, I mean, as far as I know, you have not eaten any babies recently.
Recently, no.
I mean,
I can't confirm, nor deny, maybe like a decade ago.
If you have,
we lived in a different world.
Exactly. The norms were different. But my feeling is, if you haven't eaten a baby in 30 days, you've broken the habit. Okay. It takes 30 days to build a new habit type situation. And so if you have managed to refrain from baby eating for 30 days, I think you're a free man. You're a free man.
It's like your own detox. Yeah, I get
Indeed. Now, Shazmo, thank you so much for the sub. It looks like Movies has gifted a tier 1 sub to Trance the DM. Obviously, we endorse this sort of thing. Thank you so much. If you would be so kind, Mr. Benson, to give us a preview, not a poll, but a preview of the Bloodweiser that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not quite ready for prime time, but it sounds like you're seeing some magic happen in there.
I'm really excited about this one, and it's not because I haven't even tasted it really yet. So, but it's been carbonating, right. And it's just not there yet. It needs like 2 or 3 more days of carbonation, and it's going to be great. This was an amazing idea we came up with to do a hazy IPA, but then throw raspberries in it.
Right. And I think the mega combo, because it's not crazy like wheat beers with raspberry, that's a classic combo, but generally speaking, it doesn't get elevated into the this is more of an ale thing. It's like it's not elevated into the crazy IBUs that we associate. Goodness gracious. So Iceberg, thanks for that sub. And then Trance dished up a crazy pants, what I understand the youth refer to as a sub bomb, and so obviously it's much appreciated. But that's the takeaway. It's essentially like an upmarket version of that classic sort of like raspberry ale, that raspberry wheat ale.
Right.
But we've cranked the rest of it up and moved it into IPA.
We cranked it to 11 because we went to hazy with this one. Yeah. It's like Spaceballs. We've gone plaid. We've gone hazy, right?
Yeah, it's true. Take a look at these fucking hops.
Like, look at this. This is nonsense. our boiling hops were Amarillo, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, it's a weapon.
Right.
Right.
And then another favorite hop of mine, and I believe yours as well, is El Dorado.
Mm-hmm.
We use El Dorado and citrus for flavor and aroma right off the nose.
Yeah.
Which is going to just be stellar. The citrusy, floral.
Citrus, floral, but there's also like El Dorado can also pull, depending on like the context, it can also have like a stone fruit mango thing. And not like, oh, as you and I in this like a Cicerone sort of like upmarket vibe where we're like, hey, these are concepts. It's a kind of poetry that we're relating. No, I mean like it'll taste like a mango for real.
Right, exactly. Because we came on the back end and dry hopped with Citra and El Dorado again. So, and that's really where we're going to get that amazing citrus and floral taste. Oh, but by the way, the whole time it's been in secondary fermentation, it's been sitting on raspberries.
So, Right. Now, is that so? Did you make a compote at home, or were you able to get that from micro homebrew?
No, I went right over to micro homebrew. Most of your
essentially like jam, right?
Yeah, it's a puree.
Yep.
And it comes in a giant can, and you put in as much as you think you need. And usually one can goes for 5 gallons. So what we're doing, we put a half a can in.
Nice. So that means we also have some more if we ever wanted.
No, just toss it.
The remainder. It's like if you get a bunch of hops out of the vacuum sealed bag, maybe it's just time to let it go.
Yeah, you just
But it sounds like, you basically have to, after it's fully carbonated, you're going to transfer it off of that junk,
right?
Because there's a lot of material.
No, essentially. So what happens? What's kind of nice is when you cold crash a beer, all of that goes down to the bottom.
Oh, okay. So it's easy for you to extract. You put the filter on and then auto siphon it to another tank?
Even easier. That happened once, but there's still stuff in it because there's so much hops in this, right?
Oh, okay.
There was a seal of hops on the top, and there was hops on the bottom that fallen through the particulate. So I basically had to jab through the covering of hops.
The flesh?
Yeah. And what was amazing about it was what was coming out of the siphon into the keg to be carbonated was this amazing pale pink color.
Okay, so we were able to dial it in. As you see, if you look up at Beersmith, right? Mm-hmm. That was the color that we chose because it was meant to be a backdrop for the raspberry. So you're saying that we were able to extract like a smoothie milkshakey type opaque pink color.
And that's what's really making, like I said, I haven't tasted it, so that's what's really making me like jonesing to see what the heck is what this is going to be like.
Well, that's going to be awesome. And
it smelled amazing. It looked amazing.
Yeah. Well, we used to, at the office when we would do that stuff, we would definitely force carbonate. Mm-hmm. And I think that right now, while you have the whole thing in hand, end to end, like it's all within arm's reach.
Right.
There's a conversation about it, but if we can actually carbonate it with the regular level of carbonation, then that's what we want to do.
Yeah, we don't normally do this for every beer. Most beers are forced carbonated. That's why we have a beer every week, right?
Yeah.
But when there's something special,
sometimes it happens this way where it's like, no, I'm going to do this the regular way.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the amount of hops that we use, don't want to. I'd rather do it the right way.
Yep. Exactly.
Take a little bit more time.
Well, and we've had a couple bizarre ones here recently in terms of like a couple hazy options that have had mega hop bombs, and we want to let that do its thing. It's a pretty significant investment of resources if you look up at the if you look up at the product there. But I think having the raspberry against the rest of the hops, I think, is going to be the key. I think that's what's going to unlock it. Right?
Yeah, I like raspberry beers, and I think that's because it was one of the first beers that really I was introduced to at a craft brewery. 30 some. A little bit ago,
a fortnight ago.
Yeah.
Mukti, this piece of software is called Beersmith, as they are saying in there. It is currently at version 3.0, is my understanding. And so it's got some cloud saving options. You know what I mean? Like it's got some upgrades, but the main thing it does is it helps you with all of your calculations.
Also, I don't know who in the chat was at Micro Homebrew on Monday, but
recently?
Yeah, no, they told me somebody from the chat stopped by to start brewing. So whoever it was, congratulations on starting to brew, and thanks for supporting the store. And
no, that's obviously we endorse that. A big part of it, and it's very, very easy to get this stuff online. Yep. I mean, obviously, Northern Brewer is a great. If you don't have access to a local shop, Northern Brewer will definitely hook you up.
Yep.
But I think that one of the things that we advocate for around this kind of thing is recognizing that there's a communal aspect to it. Right. Either at the brew phase, the bottle phase, the materials phase, you're part of something bigger when you enter this space.
Right.
And that's why we always say that the purpose of the show is to give you that which you already own. It's authentic. This is a real thing that's been around for a while, and you can have it anytime you want. And part of it is the fact that it's something that we do together, even if we're apart when we do it.
Right.
So, yes. So Bloodweiser is obviously killing it. I mean, obviously, is there a U umlaut possibility? Maybe, for V2, maybe it's something we can consider.
We have options.
Exactly. So Bloodweiser is what's on there. Now, is there anything that we're putting into the Pico today?
Oh, let me tell you, there is.
Pull that son of a bitch up. Oh, this is the new one. This is the Green Dragon.
Yeah, as we're going through our Tiamat heads, this was the first one. So this is a double IPA, Venom in the Veil, and I thought the concept was the chat came up with this really great idea, where it's just pale, but it's letting the flavor profile of the hops really kind of.
Yeah. It is a classic vibe.
Yep.
But basically everything is turned up. So the theme on this one obviously is the breath weapons are going to be a big part of it. Mm-hmm. This is about the chlorine gas. So poison is the vibe. And we came in and dropped in this brand new Ringwood Ale yeast that has some novel properties. Beautiful look. So basically combining like the poison aspects and then like the wood, which tends to be the sort of traditional layer. So really all we got to do today. So you want to throw that stuff in there, and then we'll get out the poll and figure out
which new dragon
who we're going to be brewing today.
Yeah.
And obviously we have a couple things to try as well. I've got Hellbent's Dang Citra IPA. So we've been using Citra in a couple of these recent ones, just because it offers a really broad citrus bitterness that is, it's not as sharp as a lemon drop, but it's very present in there. It has a big, big effect. Really, Demetrius is saying that noodles are not an uncommon pizza topping in Germany. Eggs too. Well, yeah, in Japan, I know that eggs on pizza is pretty classic as well. And frankly, when I was actually in Italy, I saw all kinds of shit. Jesus Christ, that was fast. I didn't even have an opportunity to make some kind of claim about it. But take a look at what it takes to get double IPA tier ABV, right? Look at how full that grain basket has to be of sweet grains to fill it out. Oh, yeah. Blind Cleric is saying, hey, can today's beer continue breath weapon with a new chromatic brew? That's absolutely what's happening. There was never a universe in which that wasn't going to happen. You got a little beep beep working out up there. Ronya and I have been learning how to play this like new wave of like influencer pop punk hits. I think that we've been learning to play them ironically, but I'm afraid that we've begun to play them ronically. I think we might have gotten there, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Blind Cleric. This is in fact the drop D ukulele.
The brukulele, I like that.
The brukulele. Oh man, it's like impossible not to play that fucking thing.
Right?
Like it feels so good. That Brennan was actually playing it all weekend. It's just if you get your mitts on this thing, you just really want to play it. Now, so that was an incredible. Like I didn't even have a chance to make a comment by the time the brew basket was installed. But if you take a look at the list here, what you see in that box is exactly what you'd expect, with 8 pounds of Copeland Pale Malt.
It's ridiculous.
You do reps on that grain basket. Jesus Christ.
Right? Yeah, getting swole.
Yeah. Get a brolic? Is that the term?
Brolic?
Yeah. Mesomorphically chiseled, buff, muscular, diesel built, from the Urban Dictionary.
Love it.
No, I have never heard Anarchy in the Ukulele, but I suspect it's great.
Oh my God, somebody did that? That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, Scrap Brain, Pico Brew as an entity is, I mean, they passed out of receivership. I mean, I think their assets and everything have been secured, have been bought by somebody else, but the back end that enables it is established and is apparently going to be available for the foreseeable future. My suspicion is that it's actually quite lightweight. You know,
it can't be.
Whoa! Is this new sub? Is this not your friend? Or is this a different Jack?
No, different Jack.
Well, you are also great, Jack.
Jack has been subbing for 36 months.
Yeah, so this is a traditional subscription.
Yes, a classic Jack, if you will.
Exactly, Jack Classic.
Yes.
Now,
premium Jack there.
What do you have in a can over there?
I have the
Jack Lemon. This is a different Jack. You're always trying to get involved. You know what I mean? Oh, so you have the Two Bears Pilsner. Their can designs are so solid.
I know, and this I believe this was Dan's. This is Dan's.
It looks like Dan,
work, right? Like
it looks like Dan.
It's becoming nice out, so I really wanted to go with a Pilsner.
Something crisp.
Something crisp. They use Saz and Pearl in this.
Oh, really? So, okay, yeah. so a little. I mean, for a Pils,
it's a little
fancy.
Little fancy.
And I have Hellbent, which I was saying before. This is a relatively new Seattle brewery. I got the Dang Citra IPA, but this is.
I was literally about to pull that out of my refrigerator.
So fucking good.
But look at that. I mean, look at.
Here, no, hold it close. Hold it so close. Yeah.
Look at the color of that.
I mean, that looks very nice. But even this bad boy.
Ooh.
Like it's
wow.
It makes one happy. Like the color is of a wavelength that inspires joy. Oh man. Oh yeah, Jackal Man as Jack Lemon is an ancient practice that goes almost to the origins of the channel.
It's like pyro.
Yeah, exactly, pyro. Hey, now, Mr. Dan Breeman, we actually just showed off the Pilsner can from Two Beers. Is that your doings? Because it's very, very tasteful. The shiny metallic underneath the black is oof.
Yeah, I love it. I love the can is great. I really like.
You know what though? That the shiny gold metallic against the black is like a signing bonus vibe too.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Right? No, it's real good. Well, yeah. So this is basically perfect. When you were gone, I was trying to get at the difference sort of between Lemon Drop and Citra.
Oh,
Citra has the citrus bitterness, but it's a little bit broader.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more full palate, whereas Lemon Drop is actually like sharp, like specifically like the acid bite of a lemon. Citra is a little bit broader. Mukti, thank you so much for the sub. All right, no, it's killer, Dan. It's killer stuff. Now, okay, so
yeah, I love this pills.
It's clean.
It's clean and crisp. It's so like I just want to be out on a porch right now. You know,
that's the optimal scenario.
Right
now. So we're gonna do a new dragon today.
We are.
Venom in the Veil is in process right now. It's filling up. And it's going to be very, very good.
Yeah,
but
let us know if it spills over.
Oh, did this happen last time?
No. There's just a lot of.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of grains in that.
8 full pounds.
Yeah.
So we have white dragons, black dragons, red dragons, black dragons. Blue dragons.
Them blue dragons.
What was the dragon that you were most scared of?
Ooh, that's a good question. For
me, it was always blue.
Me too. I was gonna say that because the lightning breath.
It's the lightning breath for me.
Brutal.
It's brutal, but also, at least in those earlier eras, blue dragons were associated with not just the greed that's typical.
Well, they were lawful
kind.
evil, right? So
exactly, and that's lawful evil. I find way scarier.
Well, that's like let's make a deal.
Asmodeus.
Yeah,
this is the stuff that we don't like, and exactly, Blind Cleric. It's because they're smart.
Yeah,
and they also tend to. They're curious and clever about magic as well.
But I had a love-hate relationship with it because my favorite color is blue. So I'm like, oh, I just love blue dragons. But then it was like, oh, it's this evil beast that's gonna literally lightning bolt my head off.
You don't want the smart plotting one. Like
right.
They're already bad enough without a plan.
Right, exactly.
Right. If they have a strategy, that's not what we like. Yeah, the blue dragon is the one that you don't see for a very long time. Like that dragon is affecting the party for a long time before they know who it is.
Yeah. But what was really fun is I was running Curse of Strahd recently, 2 weeks ago for some friends.
Chris of Straub.
And there's a section in there where you can, if they mess up a door, a young blue dragon comes out and fights them. But what was great was I earlier in the game I used a deck of many things. And it's in Von Richten's tower, right? So one of the players got the throne, which gives you a tower somewheres in the realm that you have to fight through to claim.
Right.
So I basically made it like as a double cross because they were helping Von Richten, but now the players owned his tower. But at the top of the tower, instead of the dragon being in the door, I had it resting at the top of the tower.
Perchin.
It was brutal and amazing,
nice.
But it was a great fight because they weren't expecting a blue dragon to be up there.
But the other thing about these assholes is the polymorph stuff. So you have almost certainly met them in some other form, which is what makes them such great tools for DMs. Cracker Jack, yet another Jack in the mix.
Got a lot of Jacks.
Yeah, and Iceberg, we had discussed it for black dragons before.
Well, they're acid, right?
Exactly, but we had discussed the possibility, and it looks like now perhaps the certainty of the show's first sour beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so we had talked about making a sour beer that's also dark, which is quite uncommon in my experience.
Right.
Perfect. All right. Well, it looks like Black Dragon it is.
Oh, we're going with the Black Dragon, huh?
Healthy. I did not expect that one to be the second one, but let's get it.
Okay. So let's look at this ancient black dragon.
Yeah, you're gonna pull up that juice for us to look at.
Yep. Let me just pull it out.
Oh, you're getting off D&D Beyond?
Yep.
Smooth.
So change windows. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at these stats. Armor class 22, 367 hit points. Gargantuan. I mean, if you look at it, wisdom 9, con 14, dex 9, charisma 11 for their saving throws. That's some mean shit. A perception of plus 16, right?
Oh, yeah. So this is, you can picture this encounter already.
Yep.
It's easy.
It's amphibious. It can choose to succeed saving throws whenever it wants.
Okay. Right? What a delight.
Right? It has frightful presence and acid breath. Most dragons have that frightful, or, you know, the evil dragons have that. But it has acid breath, which is one of the real big things. It, you know, its habitat is usually swamps.
Well, yeah, Blind Cleric says that saying black dragons are shitty because they're ambush predators, like alligators, but with wings and breath. Exactly. So mega swamps for these bad boys, plus the fact that they sneak around with ease, and you can't you can't sneak around them. This detect, one of their legendary actions is just to find you.
Right.
Yeah, Graveyard. Thanks so much for this stuff. But all I'm saying is that, like, I think so. A beer that is sneaky, I think, is going to be good. I mean, it's already sneaky because we're combining that dark color with the sour fermentation. So that's the first of our tricks.
Josh, be prepared to order another fermenter so we can throw this one the F out.
Yeah, exactly. So you can take this one out to the dumpster and put it in the garbage. You got to come after this one with the hardcore stuff. Yeah. Well, that's Tobias. Yes, it has the legendary actions. If we scroll back up, legendary resistance. If it fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. That's one. And then the detect, it makes a wisdom perception check, but its perception is plus 16. I'm just saying the likelihood is very high.
Yeah.
The likelihood of it finding you is quite high. Anonymous, thank you so much for this up. That's all I'm saying is that you don't sneak up on it. That's not how this goes. And the black dragon also is not like a blue dragon. It's not going to try to extract something from you. Right? It's not going to try to make some kind of a deal.
Right.
You've already proven that you need to die by trying it. Functionally speaking, it's a scenario where you as the player, as the party, have fucked around. Right? And there's only one outcome. This is what I mean, Piril. It's like, you can't, this thing is going to fuck you up. The end.
Right.
Yeah. How the hell, exactly, Piril, how in the fuck does something this big have a stealth of +9? This is like, you have to think about them, at least when I was running them, I always thought about them like an alien queen. Where they just...
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
they just meld into the walls, into the forest. They're covered with moss and lichen and shit.
They're a sniper, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mine were always a mess. Like the Predator.
Yeah.
Right? Where they're a part of the environment. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I guess that wasn't a rock. I guess I'm actually going to be devoured. And it's not going to take long. What's the damage?
You don't want to know. I mean, acid breath is 15d8. You've got multi-attack. So you get 3 attacks, 1 bite, 2 claws. So with the bite attack, it's an average 19 plus 9. The claws attack, claws attack, which you get 2 of, another 15. So there's an average of 30 points right there. So it's doing what? 40, 50 to 60, if not more points, just attacks alone. Acid breath.
You got to hit a DC 19.
Yeah.
To not be horrified.
Yeah, plus 15 to hit too. So let's talk about that.
But Dan Marine Man, this is what I'm talking about, right? Oh yeah, fly 80 feet. You're fucked. And so this is the stuff that we have to boil all this stuff down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It all has to come in here, right? Oh yeah, it walks at 40 feet.
Right.
This is bad stuff. This is just really, really bad stuff.
One of the first beer styles I want to talk about, and we have never broached this subject before, is an Old Bruin. This is It's a European sour.
How do you spell the first part?
OUDBRUIN.
Holy shit, that does look old.
So I'll read you off. It's a malty, fruity, aged somewhat with a Belgian brown style ale. You are a lot of the ingredients are Pilsner malts with judicious amounts of dark caramel malts and tiny bits of black and roasted malts.
Okay, so this is this is the sort of thing that we do.
Yeah.
So the Oud Bruin, I mean that I assume that just means old beer, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's less acidic and maltier than a Flanders Red.
Okay, yeah. Flanders definitely moves into that into more of a tangy realm.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds old and strange and weird, which I think is pretty on brand. I mean, what do you have for option 2, man?
I don't know.
How are you going to top this?
I don't know if I can get better than that.
Well, I mean, this is very, very great as a choice thus far.
I mean, we could go with the Flanders Red.
Yeah, Flanders Red, the classic style, and then just bring it north in terms of SRM.
Yep. Or what do you think about? I mean, we could go with the fruit lambic if we wanted, like a blackberry fruit.
Weird.
I think that's kind of neat.
That's really crazy. A blackberry lambic.
Yeah, I mean, these are some really cool choices.
Well, honestly, I don't want anything else on here. I mean, let's just put these out and see what people think, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think they're both really, really fun concepts to play around with.
Well, they're brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except in the case of the Oud Bruin, right?
That's maybe not so brand new.
Oh, Dan Marine Man, of course, is going in with the deep cut. The Dissident from Deschutes is an Oud Bruin. So
I saw that.
So it's possible to find this on a shelf, but either one of these it's still gonna be in that sour realm. It's still gonna be tangy.
Hey, can you soft shoot for a second? I've got my vaccination call coming in.
Nice. Yeah, go get it.
All right.
That's awesome. But yeah, I'm always trying to soft shoe. The truth is that both of these are so good. Obviously, it looks like Blackberry Lambic is in the shitter, so it may not be part of our process, right? But I'm gonna put this Blackberry Lambic in here just because that sounds incredible. And as we're moving into spring and summer here, securing blackberries in the Pacific Northwest is a trivial matter. A trivial matter. It's functionally speaking a weed here. We talked about this on a previous show. Just right up the street from me, literally a block, there is like an old house, and they had really done their best one year. they were going to cut back all the blackberries. This was like the street where we went to get blackberries, right? And they were like, but it's like their street, right? They get to make this choice if they want to be the blackberry source for the neighborhood, right? It's fine.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good, man. You do your shit.
I'm trying to do everything not to screw up getting this shot tomorrow. So anytime they call, anytime they call, I'm like, okay, we're good.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna give the number that you dished up a call after we get done golfing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a call.
UW is doing a fantastic job. They lowered the tier down on Friday. I called. They put me on the wait list. They called me back on Saturday to schedule the shot.
Well, so, for me, what's funny is that I've actually been through like the COVID, what do they call it? Phase finder.
Yep.
And some places say that it's fine, and other places say that it's not fine. Like it's kind of a shit show, I think, in some ways. It's what's important for me is that they're gonna handle this for you.
Right. And that was what was nice. Like you called them up, they asked you a couple questions, they verified it. So there's no questioning, right?
Right.
Which
one are you getting?
They have
or the other one.
They didn't say it. It's gonna be either the Moderna or the Pfizer. So.
Okay, fair enough. The only thing that those differentiate is I think Pfizer is within 21 days and Moderna is 28 or something like that for the second one.
Jab me as many times as you want. I don't care.
Just put it right in my cornea.
Like,
I don't give a shit.
Give me the J&J afterwards just to be sure. I mean, just put it all in.
Just double it up.
Yeah.
Each arm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I want JJ and Pfizer right there. Boom. The gun show. Whew.
Dude. So this is the Oud Bruin.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
This is going to be something else. Hey, so can you read me the full description of that Oud Bruin just so that we can get cranked up to put this together?
Wait, what did you say?
Well, read me the full description that you have.
Oh, yeah.
For the stuff, because Beersmith will have the full style description, right?
Yes. So a description, a complex, fruity, pleasantly sour, wild wheat ale. No, that's I'm lying. Nope, that's the fruit lambic. Sorry.
Oh, I was like,
too much hype. But even better, a malty, fruity, aged, somewhat sour Belgian style brown ale.
Interesting. So it's softer than some sours, it sounds like.
Yep. So history and old ale tradition, indigenous to East Flanders, typified by the products of the Leifman Brewery, now owned by Riva, which has its roots back to the 1600s, historically brewed as a provision beer that would develop some sourness as it aged. These beers were
so it's designed to hang out.
Yeah. These beers were typically more sour than current commercial examples. While Flanders red beers are aged in oak, the brown beers are warm aged in stainless steel.
So perfect. So that dials in. Omidar, thank you so much. So that's actually perfect because we're going to brew and then ferment inside of the corny keg, a stainless steel container. We're actually doing this
properly.
We actually perform this according to style,
right?
Just because of our setup.
It is less acidic and maltier than Flanders red, and the fruity flavors are more malt oriented.
Did we find the sour for me?
I think so. I really think if you're ever going to like a sour, it's probably this one.
Because it's going to be on this side of a Flanders red, which, I mean, I can drink it, right? I can drink it politely, especially if our friend Anthony from Micro Homebrew has brought it over and he made it special. Mm-hmm. I can drink it, enjoy it, figure it out, try to understand it. This sounds like a nice halfway point.
Right.
I also made a special... I made a special note in our text file to come back to Blackberry Lambic because getting blackberries.
I like that concept.
I'm telling you, dude, in 2 months.
Yeah.
By 2 months, we should both have shots in arms. We're done. We just go get all the blackberries together like people would.
Right.
Right up the street.
And make a puree and then put it right in.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Sterilize it, get it bopping, throw it in there.
I love it.
I'm loving it.
Okay, so let me switch back over to Beersmith.
No, Peril, we haven't made a lambic of any kind on the show. We've certainly put it out there, but we've never actually made one. Mm-mm. No, we've talked about different kinds of lambics, but we have not made one.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Here, so Fat Baron, fear not. Golden Drock is amazing, first of all. Second of all, feel very confident that we are going to return. Thanks, Shaza. Feel confident that we're going to return to metallics. That's also happening.
Oh, yeah.
And, on either side of this thing. And then, of course, if we want to try to address Tiamat, we'll have 5 recipes on the way up to put together the concept.
You really want to know what's so funny about this whole concept that we're finally doing dragon beers? It's the same as playing D&D. It's like, man, you play D&D for years, but you never encounter a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, 2 years in.
There's a lot of dungeons, not so many dragons.
2 years in, we get around to it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, Blackberry Lambic seems like a good hag's brew. God, you know who would be a great guest for Blackberry Lambic? Holly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Get witchy up in this piece.
Man, wait, if we both get jabs soon, can we go back into the office? How does that work, Josh?
Well, the guidance around that isn't super
that's got to be
clear.
weird, right? Yeah,
the guidance around that isn't super clear. But once we're fully jabbed, can you imagine standing behind like?
No,
that's getting a hold of me.
I imagine it every day because then we could do this and then play war games after.
God, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good times, man. And the truth is, we have armies no one has seen that we've painted completely off, and we have games that no one has seen, like Blood Bowl.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to dive into Blood Bowl.
Do you think Blood Bowl would be legible on stream? Like, would it make sense?
I think Blood Bowl would be amazing on stream because the chat could help us pick which players to put back in the game. Because it's a season. It's like football. You have a draft.
And more than that, there's a literal crowd.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So all the stuff that the crowd does, we could reconfigure into polls instead of rolls, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Well, let's get it. So we know the basics. We know we're making the Oud Brun. So what's next? So
we
need our stats, right?
We need our stats.
You got the range?
Yeah. So typically what's really neat about this is it's 4% to 8%. So
really?
if you want to think about this as a black dragon, a 4% would be lurking in the waters, in the marsh.
Yeah.
Waiting to strike.
Coming at you with that bite claw. Right. So that's 12%.
Yeah. Where
it struck 3 times.
Yeah. Right. So the 4, exactly. So that's what the stealthiness of a black dragon is, the 4 and the lower end.
This is a very good theme, Mr.
Whereas the 8% is the acid breath, right?
Exactly. That is the full power revealed. And frankly, both are good, but we have made some brutal ones. Our last couple really strong ones that we were like, okay, it's got to be this, or we're tasting it and trying to guess, and we've been wrong because the channel has put together gruesome ABV weaponry.
Right. And I actually the thought of a lower ABV on this is kind of neat. Yeah.
It's the sneaky, right?
Yeah.
It's the sneaky aspect. But the truth is, we're clever gentlemen. We can incorporate any of these things. Captain Windwalker 82 says, could it be, have I finally caught a stream while I myself am in possession of a couple brews? Ooh. It sounds very much as though you might have. Sounds so this great. Did not last long, Mr. Benson. It's too good. Like the Citra is too good. I'm gonna have to go back to the store probably this afternoon.
Yeah.
To restock. I can't believe how good it is. And these poor motherfuckers, like a big part of their span, a big part of their lifespan has been during this fucking shit show.
Is it really?
Well, yeah. So I was actually at I was at my corner store when the distributor was in.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, and I came up with a 6-pack of Citra, and he's like, "Hey, man, that's our stuff." And I'm like, I checked the vest, right? You know that distributor vest, right? They got the warm vest with the open arms, so they can carry everything in and out.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And so I'm like, dude, this is one of the best new breweries in town, no joke. And I'm like, I mean, I'm hoping you guys push through all this, and someday I go to some place and they've got you on tap. And he's like, we're working on it, man. But I could physically see the paint.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think about it, like if we're going from March, right, to March, and they're trying to be a business, they're trying to be a company under these conditions, right? And it was, I felt it. Like it was rough. There was a lot of information communicated just from the eyes.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend who owns Odin Brewing now. When I met him and her, his wife owns Odin.
Hold on, would you describe yourself as friend tier with Odin Brewing?
I would describe myself as acquaintances who spent a lot of time, several times, and maybe doing, possibly putting a summer charity event for Child's Play together with a lot of those people.
Oh man, so, we're always trying to get different options for between beer and wine. We're always trying to get good options for the dinner for sure.
But they were talking about the beer reps and the situations and the stuff that the beer reps are going through right now, and the positions they're getting put in, and it's not pretty.
So what is it? What's the complexity there?
They're kind of being made to go to like Costco and do tastings.
Oh, I see.
A lot of them don't have jobs anymore. Like it's tough.
There's no shelf inches to fight for anymore type thing.
Yeah, it brutalized that as a beer rep. It brutalized that position.
So craft beer in general. So we saw the boom.
Well, I'm separating out the individual beer rep as opposed to
that's
beer's doing great, but the actual person that has that position, a lot of those jobs went away.
Oh, right, because half of their job's gone because a big part of their job is getting taps.
Yeah.
Ugh, brutal. Punderdog, thank you so much for the sub. Grimsworth says, "Hey, when you go to the shop, can you check or ask if they have any?" And then the word is spelled UIT. What the hell is it? UILTJE. I will look for it. And then I'll also ask them how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I'll go to Special Brews and see if they have it.
Oh, obviously, Dan Breeman knows exactly what's up. 30% of all beer business vanished overnight when bars closed. Absolutely. Right. Unless you were able to reconfigure yourself like a restaurant. Right. Unless you were able to reconfigure yourself in a delivery context or some kind of a remote context, like that's rough. Yeah. I mean, that's just rough. And then you also have to think about it purely from a business perspective. Think about the fact that from March to March, there has been 4 months of payroll support federally. Right. Well, 4 months is not a year.
No,
it's way less than a year. In fact, if I were to calculate it, I would say it's a third.
Wow.
That's not as good, right? And so it's like when I talk to Christian, our wargaming friend.
I'm impressed by your math on that one.
From Deutschland.
Really a third, yeah.
Yeah. When I talk to Christian, the plan there is they look at your books and they say, "Hey, we're going to support you at 75%."
Right.
Well, yeah, that's how you keep a middle class.
Right.
Sorry to bring it up on the brewing show, but that's how you maintain it. That's how you create lives for people and maintain them under this condition.
Right.
Exactly. So something to consider. U.S. policy on this, maybe a little Darwinian, maybe in the Darwin context.
Yeah.
All right. 6%.
Love it. That's a great
number. Is right in the middle.
I think
six is right in the middle because we'll be able to make something good. Mm-hmm. And that alcohol will be able to rest with the acidity.
Right.
And be good in the middle. right?
Right. So let's talk about our SRM. Let me bring up the SRM chart. So with this, I mean, we can get as crazy as we want to with this, with the coloring on this one.
Well, I mean, my fantasy is that we have to move it into a dark realm. Now, how we get there, there's lots of cool choices.
Right.
We can go with roasted grains, but Oud Bruin is supposed to do that, right?
Right, exactly. We could do crystals, we could do black patent, we could do roasted grains. There's so many ways.
Yeah, right. It depends. So if we went with crystals, that would mean that we were not going for roasty.
No, but we were going for malty, which is also another.
We're going for mega malt as opposed to toasted or roasted character.
Right.
And that is a big decision, but we can do either one.
Right. Or both. I mean, like we could be doing caramel malt or roast, right, with this beer. Like that's what's amazing.
I guess that's true. I guess you could do like a Cara roast, and that's also in the mix.
Like I'm okay with caramel in my beer or in my coffee. Like I love that.
Yeah.
Like
I feel that's the trick. So this is what I think, right? I think that 6 in here, kind of sneaky already.
So the average SRM is 15 to 22.
We're not starting at 15. No way.
I put
not
it
on my watch.
Okay. I say 20 is the minimum. That's like murky water.
Yes,
right?
That's muck, right?
Right.
That's like the muck that's stirred up.
Right.
Right.
And then if you go to 38 to 40, that's Black Dragon scales.
Now, yeah, exactly. Now we're moving into naked darkness. Let's go 20, 30, 40.
I want to get back to a question that Cookie Mom had asked earlier. It was about my first beer is currently fermenting. Awesome. What are the changes to flavor done by opening before or after expected fermentation time? If you are just pulling the cork out to test it and to pull some samples, you're not going to get any off flavors.
That's okay.
If you are pulling it before the fermentation is done, and you know it's done because you've reached terminal gravity. It has it's not moving on your hydrometer. It can taste a little green, it can taste a little, ripe, essentially. But just if you just open it up to take some samples out, you're not going to change the flavor.
Yeah. Hey, so Datatech says, hey, is the sour coming from additions or some other place?
No,
the sours come from the. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go for it.
In this context, we don't just mean tangy. Now that's one of the flavors that's going to come out as the result of this, but we're really talking about what you are using, your inoculant, what you're using to ferment it, your yeast, in other words. Right. And that's why Eric was making a joke about throwing this fucking fermenter away at the end, because it's just a known thing. Like you don't trust a vessel for anything else after this, right? You don't feel good about it. You're never going to trust it again. You can go at it hard and not trust it, right? So this is going to be the result of a specific yeast that we drop in. Better break for us. So good to see you, pal. See you around.
So with this style, the Saccharomyces and the Lactobacillus are the sour agents,
right? Yeah. So different than using acidulated malt. Yes, acidulated malt is just tangy.
Yep.
And so it gives you that sort of goza vibe. When we're talking about souring a beer, we mean spoiling it. We mean infecting it in a specific way with specific microbes to deliver a sour flavor and a vile spider web-like structure over the top in the fermenter.
I hate it. I hate every fucking part about it.
No, but we're going to do it this time. And
I think absolutely.
That this theme, exactly. This theme is actually going to deliver a sour that's in a mid-range that I think could be appreciated by a lot of people. Baunetter is suggesting that do you force carbonate your kegs? If so, what is your process? Force carbonation isn't too crazy. I mean,
so force carbonation
you crank the CO2 up from the tank. Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to cold crash your beer. So you want to get it down to the temperature, below 40 degrees or, whatever you want to carb at, but cold. Then you transfer it into your corny keg. And you will crank the CO2 to about 25 to 30, depending on your carbonation levels that you want. And you're going to sit in a chair and you're going to put your corny keg over your lap. And you are going to roll that corny keg back and forth on your lap until you stop hearing bubbles. Usually you can count to 200 and you're good. Depending on the batch size, sometimes 500, but you're just going to roll till you hear no more bubbles. You're good. You take it off CO2, let it sit for a day. And then the next day you put it right back on CO2 at the
serving
pressure, and you're good to go.
Yeah. You might also shake the shit out of it.
You could, I prefer the rolling method. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that it has happened in the past.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a point of pride, but sometimes you do shake the shit of it. Now, Mr. Dan Marine Man is coming in here with some crazy shit. They're saying that Annie's yogurt has the perfect mix of the microbes that we want for a sour pitch. Really?
Wait, so we would just put yogurt in the beer?
Well, it's the same stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but
God, how much inoculant? 2 tablespoons?
I mean, yogurt? The thing is, it's just going to grow exponentially as it gets in there, right?
Absolutely. So, I'm just curious. Anyway, that's bizarre. I guess I don't 100% hate it, and I also think that it's very funny. So we're looking, and it's cheaper than a wild yeast pitch. Yeah, I bet it is. So they want the 40, by God, and they're going to get it.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about bitterness. These are not bitter beers. The bitterness is only there to just tone down the malt.
Yeah, the flavor profile is a lot of that's coming from that wild yeast.
Right. So bitter is 20 to 25 on the IBU scale.
But higher than some beers that aren't about IBUs.
Right, totally.
But for this specific one, I am going to offer a 30, and I hope that you're okay with that.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I think it's great. That's acid breath, right?
Well, exactly. We're going to go a little north just in case the chat wants it. Just in case they want something. I mean, technically, yeah, it's off style, but we might be able to offer something a little neat.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, nothing is really off style for us. We get to challenge these ideas of what this style is on this show. That's what's really...
and we have with success.
Yeah. So I don't think there's nothing out of bounds here.
Yeah, careful. Too high in IBUs and you'll kill your bacteria. 30 will kill it. Really? I better pull that then. Well, nobody even wants 30, so it's fine. It's fine. Now, Mr. Benson, do you see how our chat has naturally avoided with 0 votes?
It's pretty great.
They have naturally avoided the bad option. Mr. Dan Breen, man, I mean, you can see the success. It's paying out every day. Fagusco coming in with a 20. This is exactly right. Yeah, most sours are 12 or lower. Exactly. The flavor profile is coming from that weird science experiment, right? Neon Graveyard, we'd love to play around with nitro.
Oh God, I can't wait.
We've done nitro. We've done nitro beers and we've done nitro coffee. That would be a good first.
And we've just done nitro. We're just going to do a show of whippets.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah, get that beer gas.
Yeah,
put it to work. But it would be very, very cool. Certainly as an initial brew, like coming back in, because we have so many brews ready to go. Yeah. It'd be great to just start out with a coffee batch and then get that on the nitro tap. right?
Yeah, I wasn't able to have the coffee from the Pico, so I've never
not then.
that.
No,
Yeah.
that was a solo show.
Yeah.
I had to learn a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
I thought that the nitro, I didn't know that it was actually like nitrogenated in the same way that something would be carbonated.
Yeah.
I thought that it was all about. I thought that it was just the beer gas applying pressure through the head.
No, it's different,
no,
right?
No. It's like any other brewed beverage.
Yep.
It's being carbonated with this beer gas combo, and it's not all nitro, obviously. But technically speaking, yes, I know that nitro and beer gas isn't the same as nitrous. I know that it's these are jokes. All right, so
it's all jokes. It's for the bit.
It's all jokes. We're having fun now. 20 it is. Even though someone could have flexed and tried to be a jongleur, no one voted for 30.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, so there we go. We have our guardrails.
Okay, so the first vote is going to be for the base malt that we want to use on this. I think we're only going to go with one base malt. I don't think we have to mix up a couple bases on this one.
I don't think that's what this style is about.
Traditionally, this would be a Pilsner malt.
Oh, so mega clean.
Really clean. Let the secondary malts do the talking. The other one I would suggest on this one is a Maris Otter. It's still good for pale malts, but it has a little malt. It gives you a little bit maltier, sweeter of a flavor. Breadier of a flavor.
Oh, richer. Yeah, it's bread, right?
It's richer. Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to thumb this scale because we're going to be coming in with something else here.
Mm-hmm. We can throw a ton of stuff into this. You know, there's the
yeah. And then we can, and then the best part is that we can get down to our 40 in a bunch of cool ways that don't necessarily add the astringent or bitter roast character. Mm-hmm. If that's what we want, we can do that. But it might be that this is about the sour flavor mostly, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have a good feeling about this. I think this is going to be kind of good. We've had a couple real winners here recently. And also, we don't seem to be able to lose Stardew Valley.
No, we're doing really great.
It's just not in us.
It's not in us to lose.
No. We grip these mechanics mm-hmm. like the machinery of the universe, and we shift them.
I'm thoroughly happy with that.
It's trivial for us.
I can't wait to play that on stream. I think people will really dig it.
Yeah, it's hot as shit.
Yeah. All
right. They want the Maris. They want
really?
Us to.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think they're correct, right? It's on style, right? And so as the base malt, this is going to offer a nice structure underneath these other flavors, mm-hmm. right? So I support it 100%.
Okay. So here's where we make our first decision. Do we want to go caramel at first and add a crystal malt? It doesn't matter what color. We'll figure out the color later, or the percentage later, depending on what else we put in here.
Yeah.
Do we want to go with a special roast? This is toasted and biscuity. Or do we want a roasted barley, which is going to give us a grainy, burnt coffee-like flavor?
And what was that? Tell me more about the caramel. Because there's so many grains called caramel. Which one are you putting out?
It's going to be a crystal something. Crystal 60, 40, 80, whatever.
Yeah. Crystal malt for caramel.
Yeah, for heavy caramel.
Okay. Let me ship that one out to our people. Yeah, Asthmatic Games, it's kind of nice, isn't it? It's kind of nice.
So, I mean, if you think about this as a dragon, what,
It's true. And keeping in mind that we're talking about a specific kind, right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about one that sneaks around.
Right.
Right. Gets its work done.
Is he just waiting with his coffee in hand?
Exactly. How do we capture it?
Right.
Yeah, they want that toasty coffee underneath. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Even Josh is coming in for the crystal malt. Of course, I appreciate this.
I like the crystal as well. I mean, we could also add that after. It could be a coffee and caramel flavor.
We kick a kind of macchiato thing underneath
mm-hmm.
the sour as we come in. Yeah, sour coffee does sound odd, but remember, there's going to be other flavors in that profile too. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty clear victor there. Special roast and crystal malt joined each other, tied for second. But roasted barley has mad structure inside of a beer.
Now, okay, so I say we put crystal up again, special roast for biscuit, but we're going to add special B this time. Special B is heavy dark caramel with notes of burnt sugar and raisin and dark dried fruits like cherries and plums. So it's going to add a lot more complexity to this beer than the normal crystal would.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is why your brand is so richly associated.
Listen, I only picked the best.
Right. But it's going to be wild in here. I think it's actually a good mix.
Right.
For this. Oh, so they wanted roasted barley if you wanted to throw that into the
totally.
The recipe hole. Eric, I wish I had more dang Citra.
Yeah, I don't blame you at
From
all.
Seattle, Washington's Hellbent Brewing Company. Something happened to it. I think a bat or something got in here.
Oh, yeah, it just evaporates really quickly.
I think it's a bat, probably.
Could be, yeah. Okay.
No, it's everybody for Special B. That's what they want. Yeah, Red Dragon, there's all kinds of good stuff that we can do, Josh. When we get around to red, there's a couple ways that we can get at it. There's a couple ways that we can get at the concept of fire in there. We've done some spooky ones. I don't know if you remember that. There was that scary 2-pepper ale that like Lydia liked.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Now we can say we're done here, or we can add more flavors.
Yeah, we got something rich here. So let's pull this. So they want the roasted barley and the Special B.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, actually, one second.
Yeah, it's starting to get that. It's starting to move into that color range. Right now, it's only at 15, but we can goose this. The roasted barley is.
Oh, yeah, I'm not worried about the color.
No, color is going to be easy to fix.
We could put in Belgian candied sugar if we wanted.
Oh, to boost the rest of it?
No. To give it a different flavor.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about I thought maybe you're like, we got to fix the ABV. You just mean as a vibe.
Yeah.
So additions, Belgian candy. That's CANDI, right?
Yep.
could be wild. Underneath the toasted, underneath the coffee tastes.
Yeah, a deep caramel and toffee flavor.
Is that the candy sugar?
Yeah. It gives you plum and toffee.
Right. It has been entered into the great book.
Mm-hmm. What was the last vote?
The last one is Special B, which I'm sure pleases you to no end.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, there's your color.
Yep.
And even that's not all the way there. 147. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. That mix, God, and then you're gonna drink that, and it's gonna have a sour bite.
Mm-hmm.
This is screwed.
So, is the vote up?
No. Right now, I just have Belgian candy sugar in there.
I'd say Belgian candy sugar or nothing else.
You bet. It's up. So just bring that in there, bust out the sweet, and the depth of the sweet.
Yeah.
Or say, hey, pale. We got our Maris Otter dialed in. We got our Special B at almost a pound. We've doubled up. We've invested in roasted barley, burnt coffee stalks.
Yeah.
But you know, it's part of a big, you know, almost 6 pound backdrop there.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really good. Already, I like this. This is one I want. This is actually one I want to hit with different yeasts.
Yeah, just to see what it would taste like with, you know.
Right. So we obviously we're going to lean way into this sour one, but it'd be really cool. You do like the wormling version. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Velvet Cape and Velvet Rope. Big success. All right, I'm watching this very carefully. I'm going to click so soon.
Ha!
So soon. Wow. No, thank you. Won by 1 vote.
Wow, great. Okay.
Okay, so we have got something good here. A really strong, stable position here.
So let's talk about hops.
Yeah.
We're going to avoid, you know, high alpha hops.
In here, yeah.
So let's check out.
And we're only shooting for 20, right?
Yeah. So what flavors do we want to come off of this? I mean, we can really go.
Well, here, so Orion Rogue says something dank. I definitely think dank. If we can get this, if we can execute the swamp, like the bong water vibe, so I think that we're moving in the right direction.
So like something something grassy.
Yeah. But the big sock energy.
How about grassy and earthy like Strisselspalt?
What the hell is that? How does that spell?
I can find it. Yeah. I mean, pleasantly hot, intense, pleasant, and hoppy. It has a 4% alpha. STRISSLESPALT.
Got it. So it's grassy, you said?
Yep. Grassy and earthy.
All right, so we got some vegetal vibes in there.
Let's check out Mount Hood and see if that works. Mount Hood does work. It's an aroma. It's going to be spicy, earthy, and herbal.
Yeah, Yeah, anything that's down here in that lower realm
Mm-hmm.
that's offering the I mean, some of it's some classic, some noble hop stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just about intensity, really. There wasn't a barn flavored hop. There was a yeast that offered notes of horse blanket.
Yeah, remember that?
I do remember it.
Let me see what Columbia has to offer. That might be a little bit too much. Yeah, too much in the alpha range.
Too sharp.
Yep.
Oh, it's fine. It's all beer things, right? Just beer things. I'm sure we've all seen that hashtag.
Ooh, you know what?
What do you got?
Let's go with the first gold.
First gold. What dis?
It's kind of like East Kent Goldings.
Oh.
Spicy, floral, and citrusy.
Okay. A little bit of sharp rind. That works too.
Yeah. That'll give us that sharp to balance out a lot of the dark malts that we're putting in there.
Yeah, that would be nice. But here. Get those soft shoes on.
Yeah. So I think anywhere we go with this, we're gonna do really good. I don't know. I like the idea of like a spicy, earthy. Actually, grassy and earthy sound really good. But Orion and Blind Cleric, I like you said, the sharp hops would be kind of nice. It's kind of a spreadsheet. It's a program that a PhD student wrote as his master thesis for brewing beer or for crafting beer recipes. And it's about $30 and you can buy it. And it's great. It's called Beersmith. Yes, Neon Graveyard, Swamp Mud in a bottle. Absolutely. Essentially what we're going for. I think everybody's kind of right with the Mount Hood. That's going to be fun to play around with, especially with the sour. I think we really don't lose in this toss up, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Swamp, but mud tasty enough to quaff. Yeah. It's gonna be. I am really interested to see how this turns out as a sour beer, because these are not the typical flavor profile that we would associate with sours. So, or at least that I do. But
yeah, Embry has someone tapped into this Embry quote in here? I think, is this a spreadsheet for creating actual beer?
Yeah,
it sounds like you might be a newcomer.
Yeah.
I mean, welcome aboard. Obviously, if you think this sort of thing is interesting, we do have 2 years of this in the archive. But yeah, this is Beersmith, and it is a very powerful, very, very powerful tool for handling all these ratios that are part of brewing and calculating all the results. Right, I'm liking that. So they want the Mount Hood.
Okay.
Which I assume is an Idaho hop.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about yeast.
Mm-hmm.
The first one right off the bat that is for this style is the Belgian Lambic blend. This is a blend of, this is the Saccharomyces and the Lactobacillus blend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we could get a little crazier and go with a Brettanomyces, which will give us a cherry pie-like flavor and sourness. But that might deter from the coffee, right?
True.
So you want to you want to really be thinking, there's the traditional, and then this is kind of the more bold
not necessarily upmarket, but it's definitely it's bolder.
Yeah, if you want to get weird with it.
It's weird, and given the theme, we might want to get weird.
Imperial has Sour Batch Kids, which is a blend of low
Kids.
Yeah. It's a Belgian saison yeast with lactobacillus and 2 Brett strains. Yes, Tobias, this is going to be a yeast that makes Jerry hate beer.
Well, no, we have the interesting malt structure underneath for this style.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is actually still a winner for me. And then Mount Hood, I'm a fan of as well.
Me too.
But we're gonna do our best, but we're throwing everything that touches this away.
Right. It's just gone. Get it out of my house.
But I get there are saisons. There are like darker saisons that have rich malt against that farmhouse shit, and I don't mind that. Like I'm okay with that.
Right.
See you, Nian. Nah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited about this. This combo. The Lambic blend out of these is probably the more traditional, more controlled, but we're still talking about a Belgian, which means that we're talking about some unruly boys.
Right, exactly.
In that edition for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we lose in any of these, but
Nah, these are all winners.
Yep. God, what are we gonna name this beer? I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
Everybody,
name.
Get your names. We're talking about that Black Dragon. So we have our 6 ABV. So we're right in the middle of it's skulking a little bit compared to its full power. It might get 2 quick swipes, for a 12% scenario. Something to consider. Dark in color, but richly malted. Got a novel hop addition in there for some earthy base. And now we're coming back in with, it looks like, the classic Belgian profile from the Lambic blend. So it's going to be tart. It's going to be on the tart side of the sour vibe. This is going to be something special against the dark malts. Are
you a tart person, or is this
love tart?
Like, how do you feel about shock tarts as a candy?
Shock tarts got me through my senior year of high school, and it's not a joke. I had second lunch.
Yeah.
And so I only had like 2 classes after lunch. Right. It was all I could do to stay in that place. I was nuts by the time of my senior year. And the only thing that I could get through it was the snack fucking window. The only way I could survive that was to eat a lot of shock tarts, chewy shock tarts.
Love it. They were the best.
Oh man. The regular shock tarts are good. Obviously, they come in the roll. There's a high volume.
They were perfectly fine.
No, dude.
But that black roll of chewy shock tarts.
That's a chewy sweet tart, like the really large one, also good. But no, that's actually where I was getting fucked up on sour warheads. That was the year. Yeah, exactly, Cookie Mom. That was the year. So I ate them so much that ultimately it destroyed the top layer of my tongue. I mean, which, again, I was just using it to escape reality. So, of course, I was brought back down into the worst parts of reality immediately. I went to the bathroom and peeled the entire top layer of my tongue off like a sticker. So it's possible to hurt yourself with these candies. That's all I'm saying.
It's been done. We have proof.
Ryan Rogue, I'm not saying that it isn't gross. In fact, I'm joining you. I am joining you in feeling that is disgusting.
What was the color of the peel? I'm more interested in that. Like, was it a kaleidoscope?
Grub white.
Yeah.
Hey, they want the Belgian Lambic, by God.
I like it. Yeah.
Me too. I honestly, out of those, I was ready to get the bread on there and throw it away.
Yeah. Hey, what did we say our IBUs were going to be?
IBUs 20.
20, perfect.
So we have our Black Dragon vibe. You sort of know how we got there. What are we going to put together for a name? That's what we need. Minica Place, yeah, trust me. Imagine being the person looking in the mirror at school and trying to figure out why the top of your tongue feels loose.
Yeah. I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Black Fen Bile. Ooh.
Ooh. I'm asking him to
I love
change his way. Black Flagon. Yeah, there you go. Maw of the Marsh.
Black Flagon. Are you for real?
Yeah.
There is crazy stuff going on in here.
Caustic Can, yeah. Visceral Sheer Forces. Sedimentary Bach.
Swamp Juice.
Creeping
Litmus Zest Whiskey Jacket. You goose. Oh, Blackwater is really good.
Yeah. Bile from the pile. That sounds like a wrestler. It's the bile from the pile.
Oh no, Orion, listen. You have offered this channel your expertise on many occasions. Oh yeah. See what lies beneath.
Yeah.
I can see that on the label, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Swamp Thing.
Classic.
I love it. Let me snatch a couple more of these here. Oh yeah, 8-bit. I'm here to tell you, it is a life-changing experience.
The abyss stares back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Black is the new black.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like that.
Well pickled.
I think that works. Okay, let's ship it. Now, everyone should know. So Mike is drawing the strip. He's got a bunch of other stuff to do. So we are going to move from here into golf. I got to call my mom, Eric.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we'll get back into here at 1:45.
That's great. I got to go get sushi that was just dropped off at my door.
Oh, kick ass. Here, so you stuff that into your craw.
Yep.
Put it in the craw hole.
Mm-hmm. Heard about it.
And then I'll call my mama. 1:45.
Mama.
I don't wanna die. Sorry. So I'll do is I'll build the stream up. I'll be ready to bop it. I'll hit play. 1:45. We'll jump right back in. Look, they want that Black Flagon.
Hey, Black Flagon it is.
Let's give it to
God, that is such a great name. I wasn't even thinking of Black Flag.
I thought it's exquisite. Every part of it is flawless. Here, like I say, so I'm gonna get OBS over here dialed in. Gonna get the PGA Tour bopping, get it ready. I'll be ready to kick you that invite here around 1:45. But until then, I'm gonna call this mama, offer her comfort in this her time of need. And then until then, it's gonna be good times.
Great.
All right, hey, so come back, hang out with us here in about 15 minutes, 1:45 or so. Until then, we'll see you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.